Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Juan Rivera. I'm the Vice President at Family First Life Heroes, and today we have one of our top producers, Daniel Kirby, sitting down with us. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. How are you? Good. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Good to have you. So why don't you share with us, I know you and I kind of go way back, but why don't you share how you got started in the business, maybe how long it took to recruit you?
So I had been in insurance before, worked with Farmers Insurance, wasn't really doing too much life, was more, property and casualty, and kind of, left there, didn't really like working, at a captive agency, was doing some other stuff in between. And you had reached out to me, man, this was probably 2 years ago, I'd say. And you're like, I got this really good thing going, man. I'm making $20,000, $30,000 a month. Like, he was like, I think you'd be really good at it. And I was like, dude, no, you're not. Like, you're not making that much money. I was like, that's like, I've been in insurance business. I was like, there's no way you're making that much money. And for about probably 4 or 5 months straight, you kept texting me, sending me deposits, different things here and there, videos. And finally I was like, all right, I guess you are making this much money, so let me give this a try. And it did take me a little bit to get into it because, just like any job, it's, hard when it's brand new, but it's also, different when you're not giving 100% effort into something.
Right, absolutely. So what do you think, do you think you were giving 100% at your previous company?
Probably not, no. See, and that's a big thing too. It's, all about mindset. And, until you find, I think, something that, you really want to do and really enjoy doing, at least working wise, I think most people don't give 100% effort. That's they're living the normal 9 to 5 and they're just kind of going through the P's and Q's, and once I kind of looked at, I'd gone maybe 3, 4, 5 months into the business here and kind of gave myself an ultimatum, was like, I have to make this work, right? Because I knew that other people could do it. I was seeing other people doing it, people that are not different than me, and realizing, okay, well, they're just buying leads and they're calling the leads and they're setting appointments and they're resolving their leads. So I was like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong here? I'm not buying enough leads. I'm not dialing all day. I'm not doing what I had to do to make sure I got my appointments. So, I went to convention in February, and that kind of gave me a little switch, hearing it 3 days in a row of exactly what you need to do to be successful. And, came out of convention firing right away. And I think just since convention, I think I've done almost 150,000, issue paid in the last, 4 or 5 months.
Yep. So I wanted you to talk about that a little bit. Convention was the trigger that kind of got you started in the business, and you made the switch to a part-time agent who thought he was full-time to an actual full-time agent.
Right.
So what does that activity look like before you were before convention and then after convention?
So before convention, it was maybe spending $200, $300, $400, a week on leads, maybe, right? Buying leads here, buying leads here, having 10, 15, 25 leads and trying to force those to work, right? And, not only that, but when you have 20 or 25 leads, let's say, and, you only spent $300 on them, if you're at that point where you need them to work, you start bringing emotion into it too, right? So I was doing a lot of that, getting angry, getting, pissed off that, 20 of my leads or 20 of my 25 leads, were hanging up on me or, not answering the phone or had a bad number, right? It's just something that's just part of it, right? And I sit here, I only talked to 5, and of the 5 I talked to, I set 1, 2 appointments, and I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong here? This isn't going to work for me. And I was, big on complaining. I'm pretty sure I called you, probably 2, 3, 4 times a day during that whole stretch. And I was like, what am I doing wrong here? Like, I can't do this and that, and you just kept telling me, dude, you got to buy more leads, dude, you got to buy more leads, dude, you got to buy more leads. And, you know, after listening, finally, you know, having that switch in my head, that's, you know, what I did. And that's where the activity changed, right? So not only am I buying more leads, but I'm actually going through, you know, calling every single one of them, you know, triple dialing every single one of them, resolving all of my leads, you know, making sure that whether it's in person, you know, or over the phone, that someone's telling me yes or no, right? And lo and behold, you know, the more chances you have, the better chance you have to hit a home run, right? And it's where, you know, you kind of think of it like baseball in a way. You know, we both played baseball. And you look at it like, okay, so a good major league hitter hits 350, right? And that's thinking of it in leads. Okay, so now let's say we have 100 leads, right? So we want to book 30 appointments. Okay, so that's 30%, right? That's our 300 hitter, right? And now, of course, of that 300 hitter, you know, not everything's going to be a home run, but we still can hit home runs, right? So if we hit, you know, 10 home runs out of our, you know, 300 average hitter, you know, at $1,000 a sale, guess what? Boom, that's 10,000 a week.
Mm-hmm. So I like to keep it in baseball terms and really relate that to the business. So I like to think about it as the more at bats you get in a game, the more likely you are to continue your hit streak. Mm-hmm. So like, let's say you're the leadoff hitter. So you're going to get the most at-bats on the team. So instead of being the 9-hole, now you're leading off. You get the most chances possible. So you want to put yourself in that position, and that is what buying more leads does. Like the more leads you do buy, the more chances you do have to go get a hit.
Yep.
So you are spending more money, but your chances of succeeding increase tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome, yeah. And that was, you know, that change of activity is really what, you know, made the biggest difference. And it's when you kind of sit back and look at it, and I think about, okay, in December of last year, I was sitting at home half the time, you know, giving myself excuses of why I, you know, was saying I'm making money, but I'm not, you know, oh, I'm my own boss, I don't have to work today, right? But guess what? If you want to make money, you got to work, right? And so that work activity change was literally just getting off my, you know, couch and going to work, right? Whether it's, you know, making sure I'm going somewhere to dial, right? Or dialing on live dials or going to an office, whatever. It's like making sure I'm going and doing that actual work and not just, you know, telling myself, okay, you know, I made 50 dials today and it's all right, that's good enough, right? It's not, you know, not if you want to make money.
Now, since convention, you've been pretty much spending the same amount of money on leads week after week after week. Have you seen your numbers increase? Have you gotten better since convention?
Well, yes. So that's actually an interesting point that I haven't really thought of. But, you know, right out of convention, I started spending, you know, roughly $1,000 to $1,500 a week on leads. Now I'm spending about $2,000, sometimes $2,500 a week on leads. And, you know, that has definitely shown the growth, because when I was spending $1,000, you know, I was making like 15, 20,000 a month. And then, you know, once I started moving up and up, now all of a sudden in July, you know, I'm making 40,000 a month, you know, and I'm spending, you know, 2,000 to 2,500 a week on leads, right? So that's where that translates. And, you know, not only that, but I'm getting better and better and better to the point where, you know, I don't have to go through all my leads in a dial day to set all my appointments. Now, sometimes I do, right? But it's also there because I want to make sure I have my 18 appointments, right? I run 9 and 9. Sometimes if I can, I'll run 10 and 10. If I can run 11, I'll run an 11, right? You know, and I'm going to make sure that's what changed for me was, you know, not stopping dialing until my schedule was booked.
That's good. Yep.
You know, and giving myself like a treat, you know, afterwards, like a little self-satisfaction. You know, it feels a lot better once you allow yourself to do something that's what, you know, watch TV, go have a beer with a friend, you know, whatever it is that you do, right? Everybody has something fun that they, you know, like to do to, you know, be happy, right, at the end of the day. So especially on dial days, you know, if you don't allow yourself to have that satisfaction, you know, before your schedule is full, it's going to be a lot nicer when you know, okay, awesome, I can crack open this beer, or, you know, I can turn on my TV, or I can go, you know, play outside with my kid, whatever, right? When you know you've got 18 appointments scheduled for the next 2 days, instead of doing that and, you know, being stressed out about you only having 5 appointments the next 2 days.
See, I always base things off the effort that I do. So if I feel like I didn't put in the effort that day working, then I will feel really guilty if I go out to dinner, go hang out with friends and I don't even get to enjoy that because it's all based off the effort that I did earlier that day. So that brings up a really interesting point that a lot of the people that simply don't book enough appointments will be extremely unhappy because then they have a bad Monday booking appointments, a bad run day, and then another bad run day, and then they got to dial again on Thursday. So it's really hard to bounce back and change your mindset. So you might as well, you know, just keep dialing until the job's done, right?
Yep, keep dialing until the job's done, you know, and of course, you know, there's going to be times where you might not be able to get to your 18 or 20 appointments. You know, it's part of it. Even if you dial from 8 to 8, you know, maybe you've got 15 appointments, right? Or 13 appointments, right? We'll say 13. But the thing is as long as you're still filling your time with quality time, you know, the next 2 days, you know, you're still going to be successful even if you only have 13 appointments. So what I mean by that is, you know, if on, you know, we're dialing Monday, right, and we're in the field Tuesday, Wednesday. So let's say we've got 8 appointments on Tuesday and we've got 5 on Wednesday, right? So we still got some openings up Wednesday. So, you know, in between appointments on Tuesday, you know, okay, you're driving, yes, but, you know, maybe you've got a little bit of extra time, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here, you know, that adds up throughout the day. So maybe, you know, you have a total of an hour and a half of like little 15, 20-minute increments. So now let's say you use that time to dial some of your leads from Monday that didn't answer, right? And now you're going to maybe book an extra 2, 3, 4 appointments for Wednesday. So now guess what? Now you've, you know, used your time as quality time and you have those extra appointments that you weren't able to get on Monday.
See, it's all based off the activity that you do.
That's it. It's the activity that you do, you know, and that's where, you know, even door knocking comes in, right? You know, if on Wednesday, right, you come around and you have 6 appointments, you know, your next dial day is Thursday. Guess what? If you've got time in between, you know, yes, you could start dialing for Friday if you want, but, you know, at that point, you got to look at, okay, what's the best thing and the smartest thing to do? Okay, it's going to be resolving some of our leads, right? So let's go door knock in between our appointments. Hey, guess what? If you start doing that, make an extra 10, 15 door knocks, you know, a week, if not more, you're probably going to make an extra 2, 3, 4 sales, you know, and that's an extra $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 off of, you know, knocking on someone's door who asked for our help.
Mm-hmm. Now, what kind of leads have you been running?
So I absolutely love the internet leads, the $11 instant internet leads, the $9 new internet life leads, the $4 1 month internet leads. They're the cream of the crop. And, you know, I make sure that, you know, I'm a shark when it comes to, you know, going through that CRM. I'm a shark. And, you know, I'm checking that, I think, probably 5-6 times a day, you know, and even if it's, you know, Saturday, right? And I know I got Monday dial day. I'm looking for, okay, what leads am I going to get for Monday, right? And I'm buying those leads on Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Monday morning, right? And all of a sudden now, guess what? I have 80 to 100 instant leads, right? And I have a lot of people ask me, well, how do you get so many leads? You know, I look and, you know, where I live, there's only 30 instants. When I look, well, that's because you're checking 1 time a day. You know, okay, if you wake up Monday morning and you go buy your leads Monday morning and you have to dial Monday morning, of course, there's other people there, you know? You can't expect to just magically have 100 instant leads in the area that you want it to be. But guess what? If you take the time, you know, on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and, you know, start planning your activity, right? Guess what? You're going to have the leads you want where you want them. That's just how it works. That's what I've noticed, right? If if I want to be in Dallas, if I want to be in East Texas, if I want to be in South Texas, you know, I make that plan out, see what there is, and just start buying them. You know, maybe 15 here, 20 here, 15 here, 30 here. But guess what? I do that 3 days in a row. So now when it comes to my dial day, guess what? Boom, now I've got 60, 70, you know, instant leads on top of maybe, you know, adding an extra 30, 40 new internet and, you know, 1 month making sure I have, you know, enough leads, right? And guess what? Even if, you know, my Monday dial day happens and it's 4:30 and I've got 11 appointments, guess what I'm doing? I'm going into the CRM and seeing what leads. Like if I've already gone through my leads, okay, what's another $400 going to hurt? $500 right here. So I can maybe add on another 3, 4, 5, 6 appointments. And especially, you know, doing that, those leads for me, I always love to call those right away. You know, I buy them at 4:30 on a dial day. Boom, I'm calling them. Boom, 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 boom. And it's appointment. And that's just, you know, it's having that activity and just, you know, having that mindset of like, I need to make this work and it's going to work.
Now, a lot of agents will get hung up on, I can only dial Mondays and Thursdays. And they limit themselves. So you buy leads all the time.
All the time.
You call me Saturday at 11 p.m. and let me know that there's 70 leads in a county and you buy them. And so you dial on every day of the week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always booking appointments. What I notice is when you come into the office on dial days, you typically have 5 to 7 already set.
Yeah, I mean, it's already, you know, it's already rolling. And even if some of them are, you know, could be reschedules, but again, you know, and some of them might be from door knocks, right? And then some of them are from me dialing on Saturday afternoon, you know, for Tuesday, or Sunday night, you know, Sunday afternoon for Monday, Tuesday, you know, and that's where it's like, I'm always finding time in the day where if I'm just, like you said, you feel weird when you're not working, right? You feel guilty when you're doing something and you feel like the job's not done yet. But guess what? You know, my job's not going to be done yet for years and years, right? So I'm trying to figure out every single day, you know, whether it's doing something recruiting, whether it's doing something in the field, you know, whether it's, you know, hopping on social media, finding something, talking to people, doing this, doing that. You know, I'm making sure that I'm filling every hour up and every minute up of the day, you know, doing some sort of work. You know, if it's helping agents, helping other agents, if it's on the phone, if it's getting better myself, watching a training, you know, doing something, right? And that's where that activity, just getting back to activity, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, if you keep that activity at a high level, there's no way you don't succeed. Just no way.
Awesome. Well, man, I think a lot of people got some really great tips today. I know I definitely, you know, it's all about mindset, right? And that's the shift that you did make. And we all kind of have to go through it. Andrew Taylor likes to say, you get the monkey off your back. Like you figure it out, you get the monkey off your back. And every agent kind of goes through that. And once they do, it becomes a lot easier. Is there anything that you can, any tips that you would give to new agents to like get the monkey off their back? What would you say?
Ask for help. Yeah. You know, like don't be afraid to reach out and literally, you know, just ask for, hey, what do I need to do here? What's the best way to do this? You know, or if I'm dialing the phone and you're stuck on an objection that you're not sure how to overcome, you know, don't keep dialing. Well, yes, of course, keep dialing the phone, but like call your upline, figure out how to overcome that objection. So that way next time when you get that objection, you know what to do instead of waiting. You know, the more you wait and the more you go without asking, the longer it's going to take you to learn, right? Now, and other than that, you know, it's just, again, like back to activity, you know, just keep up that activity. You know, a lot of people come into the business and they don't have a lot of money, right? They don't have a lot of money to invest in leads. You know, I didn't, you know, I had help from a friend of mine, you know, that's also in the business. He gave me essentially a loan to buy my first leads, right? And off my first sale, I paid him back. But, you know, not everybody has that initial $500, $1,000, $1,500 to spend right away. But what people do have usually is time, right? And so that's why I say, you know, fill up your day with quality time. you know, keep dialing, go resolve your leads, go door knock, you know, do it until you get to that point where once you have enough money, guess what? Now you can swap it, because at that point you probably don't have a lot of time. You're working a lot, you're growing your business, you're doing this, and now you're at that point to switch. But, you know, it's just use your time wisely, keep the activity high, and just always ask for help.
Yeah. So now you're growing a team, and one thing that I've noticed is all the people that you work with love working with you. Like they all think you're an awesome trainer. They think you do care about them, that you're truly there to help them. And I've seen the time that you dedicate to each and every individual. So if anyone wants to work with you, how can they reach you?
So you can give me a call, shoot me a text, find me on social media, but my phone number is 214-300-1316. For the people that didn't hear that first, it's 214-300-1316.
Awesome. Well, glad to be in business with you, bro. And let's crush it this year.
Let's crush it.